Okay, this is part 5 of our tutorial series, and let's continue working on this base here. I think this is too small for to support this entire satellite, so we're going to add a few things here to make it be able to support this kind of weight, and we're not going to copy this directly, so let's come up with a different idea. So I think we can, let's see, we can add, let's isolate this for a second. I think if we add a loop here that comes around here, if I select these instead, we can have that loop that goes around here. Maybe select these faces, make sure you have clipping turned on. Let me just have this on. Let me have this here on my second screen. Anyway, so you can select these and push them in here and then delete them to get rid of those faces, and we will be left with this kind of loop here. And if we bring back this, I think we can just select, let me also have these joined, so triangulate that n-gon with Ctrl T and then Alt J to untriangulate it, so that we have that loop. Now I think if I select these faces, I also want this, I don't want this face here, maybe, so I can just scale them in the x-axis, into the z-axis, and then delete those faces. Now if I select, I think from here, then here, and let's see how this looks, and extrude it this side like this, we can get a very interesting shape. Now what we can do, we can add a boolean above the mirror. Let's first turn off the mirror and see, and select this as the object. I think we can also maybe, instead of pushing it out to that side, we can push it to around there. Yeah, I think that could work really well. And then now we can apply that boolean, bring back the mirror, and that. But this is too tight, so I can just, let's first isolate this for a second, fix a few issues we are seeing here. I need this to be pushed down just a bit. So what I'm going to do, I think I can get rid of this loop here. If I see, maybe just merge this vertex with that, Alt M to the last, and what we can do is have a loop that goes around here. So what we are trying to do here is this grip here, there is no this gap here. We need to have some gap here so that this can easily swing around. So what I'm going to do is select these two faces, insert them until we get that inset there. So then we can delete this outer face that we have here and use that as the gap. So I can select this loop here, delete that, get rid of this edge, delete by pushing it into the mirror and deleting it. I'll delete the bottom side for now. Now let's see how we can join this. So you can see we have extra edges here, so I can get rid of these using Ctrl X to dissolve them, have something like that. Now if you look at this, now we get some bit of gap there, and what we can do now is select everything from here, these edges here, they can be selected. Let me first merge or dissolve this vertex and select this edge loop here, then extrude that, push that inside. Remember, we still have the mirror modifier there, so we can have something like that. And yeah, now we have that gap there, so it would easily allow for this to swing around. Maybe be able to stop it from here, but I think we can just cut it off at around this area so that this can swing, can pivot or rotate around here. So let's see, add a loop here, and I'll slide, first add the loop, and then have it and slide it around there. Let me first again isolate this, join those two with J, and I think we can get rid of this part here and this part, and maybe even just just thinking of how to have this connected. So I think I can select these, then this, and then this loop here, right click, bridge, have something like that. So we want to create something that looks good but also looks functional, that this can work, not just designed for the sake of having, not modeling for the sake of modeling. Need to have a functional design, something that can look real in the real world. So just make these maybe flat like that. And sometimes you need to use Shift N to recalculate the normals, and you can see now things look a bit better. I will still have a few issues here. Let me examine them and see what's going on. So sometimes when you zoom in too much, you start seeing that the mesh starts clipping. If you want to get rid of that, to reduce that clipping, you just hit N so that you can access this view panel, and under the view you should find the clip start, and reduce that to a smaller value, and that clipping should reduce. And so I'm trying to see what's going on here. I'm just dissolved that vertex, and I think it fixed that issue there. Let's see what else. Yeah, so we have this here. So I'm just going to select this edge, dissolve, and we just connect those, and I can dissolve that vertex to have something like that. And also make sure that this is flat. Yeah, it seems so. But our shading seems to be a little bit off. So let me select this edge loop. I'm selecting a vertex here, and then the last vertex on that loop, and then holding down Control to select every vertex in between there. So then hitting D twice to slide that vertex there, so that this area is a little bit flat. And maybe I can do it here again. Let's first switch off the bevel and see. Okay, and see how that is becoming a bit neater. Bring this back in. Yeah, I think that looks great. I will have a large end gun here, so let me just use the knife tool. I'm using the shortcut K, but you can find the knife tool right around on this panel here. I think it's this here. So I'm just using the shortcut K. Let me make sure that my keys are screen keys are on here. So I can use K to just make cuts like that. Now this can be used. This course can be used as a hard surface modeling course, and if you want this model to look sharp, after the bevel modifier, you can add a subdivision surface modifier, and you can see that this would start to look, the corners will start to look a bit better. And to make them even more sharper, you just have to go to the bevel and increase the number of segments you have, and you can see now we are getting a better look for our mesh. Now to even clean up this even further, I'm not going to use the subdivision surface modifier because I want to have a lot of satellites, and the more you have, when you have the subdivision surface modifier on, you're just going to add more polygon subdivisions to your mesh, which will kind of increase the CPU power demand for your project. So for now, let me just disable that. Let's see where we can improve on this model. There are a few areas we can improve. For example, I'm seeing, let me see, if we add a loop here and a loop there, also use a knife tool. Actually, if we just connect these like that, and maybe now that like that, that can also work. Maybe add another loop here, and then join all these. Then remove this, and let's see. I want to get rid of this edge loop here. Okay, so this has crossed 10 minutes, so I'm just going to end this part here. I think we can just... I'm not going to care about the polygons here, so let me... some of the polygons I will have here, so maybe just have this connect directly down like that. Now, if you want to get rid of this here, you can try a different bevel. I think it's called meter type. So the inner should, sorry, the outer can be switched to arc, and that should reduce some of the pinching you see there brought out by the subdivisions. And, if you want, you can also increase the bevel segments again to make this even loop tighter, or you can reduce these segments. Let me first reduce the subdivisions and reduce the offset here, something more tighter, and now you will get a sharper subdivision. Again, as I said, this course can also be used as a hard surface modeling course, but I don't want to add subdivisions to make things look smoother, because it will increase the CPU requirements for this course. So let me just turn that off. Switch that off. I think I need to push this vertex, this edge loop down to make that curve look even smooth. I don't like how this is cutting through here. I'm just going to add a loop. I don't want this loop to go all the way here, but because of how the loops are here, when I add a loop here, it goes all the way to here. So you can just add the loop where you want it, and connect the vertices how you want them to connect, and then just select. After you connect it, then select the rest of the loop that was produced, and Control X to dissolve it like that, and now you are set for what you're going for. And I think that this part is going to end here, so thank you for watching.